Yeah, Manchester has been a happy hunting ground for me over the years. I don't know what it is, whether it's the proximity to home, whether we are so comfortable here, obviously with it being the home of England squash, the EIS. We spend a lot of our time training here, so we know where everything is. Those little details can make a big difference to squash players, to any athletes, I think. Those home comforts, your family and friends all are able to come and watch. My wife and daughter have been staying with me this week, which is when you're in Qatar, Hong Kong, San Francisco, etc. is not possible. So that's been a great plus. She's been running me ragged off the court, but it's keeping me sharp on the court for sure.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited to be in another final in my home country, in front of hopefully another good crowd tonight. They've been great all week. It's good to be playing on any big occasion, but to reach a final, the atmosphere is just better. There's more you can just feel it. Everything around it, the preparation, there's the build up, the nerves is more heightened and there's more excitement. So to reach those later stages, they're just bigger occasions than first round, second round. So it's a great honour great thrill to be there again. And especially after a few difficulties along the way, it's a really exciting thing. I'm very, very excited about playing tonight. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I definitely feel that it's time to convert one of the finals. I did start the season in somewhat shaky form. I didn't really go to plan, sort of the first event and a half, and sort of was questioning sort of my future in the game genuinely, because I'd had a really good summer and thought that I was in good shape, and the results, they didn't come straight away, but I think I had a tough 5-setter with Rosner in the US Open, and that sort of turned my season around. I was 2-1 down there, got the win there, and it sort of reminded of those little idiosyncrasies in matches, those moments, how tough mentally you need to be and compose under pressure, and sort of that match seemed to kick-start me this season, and I've sort of gone on from strength to strength there, playing some of the best squash of my career. I'm certainly not as fast as I used to be, but the speed of thought is still there, and there's a lot of experience, and definitely ready to win a tournament. I came here stating I wanted to win this week. I want to win every week, but I did feel it was about time, and I'd built up my performances ready for a win, and hopefully, I don't just want to stop there. Like I've aimed until Christmas, taking sort of each quarter at a time at the moment. And this is the end of that quarter, obviously. Big push tonight, run through the line, and hopefully then have a nice rest over Christmas. Yeah,
well, you've obviously got the problem with age as well. There aren't any guarantees, even if you're not injured. It's a young man's sport, I suppose. So you're constantly trying to keep people are always saying it, and you know that the number keeps creeping up, and there is a limit. So there's that sort of to deal with as well. And then once you've got an injury thrown in the mix, it does sort of put a lot of doubts there, psychologically more than even physically. In a way, you have to get your head around the fact that there is a bit more juice left in the tank, and hopefully another year or two where you can play at the top level, and you just, I suppose, maybe just having a bit of faith and believing that it can happen a little bit is quite a tough part. I mean, the physical thing has been just fantastic. I couldn't have asked for, having had better run over the last year or two. It has been really slow. It's taken me a long time to get back to that sort of level of competing with top 10 players again. But the patience was there, and the knowledge that the body was doing okay and improving all the time. So it's been an interesting road, but I think it's been a great help to have the people behind me having a lot of faith, and the medical people who've helped me to get through it. And now I'm in a position, hopefully, where I can give myself a little bit longer. But again, there are just no guarantees either with a sport like this. Anyone can get injured at any time, whether you're 22 or 33 or whatever. So just keep playing day by day and enjoying it, really, is the answer, I think.
Yeah, it's not been easy playing my best squash at 36. I think the summer was a big one for me. I had to go away and reevaluate where I was with my game. Couldn't perhaps always rely on the same training that I always did that got me into that best shape, into peak condition. Had to be a lot more clever with the joints and the body, take the running out, for example. I swim and bike now, no impact really apart from my squash. train a lot more sensibly. I only hit on court 4 times a week if I haven't got a tournament, which is a relatively low number now. You know, it was double or more going back. You know, I really keep the quality high now and try and aim for that longevity. It means sometimes I'm not quite as sharp as I would like, but I always err on the side of freshness now, thinking that if I have that mental freshness, I've been doing it for such a long time that it only takes one match to really kick into sort of top gear. And I had to reevaluate how I play as well on top of that. You know, a bit more tactical at times. You can't just go hell for leather, you know, when you're coming up against the guys 10 years younger than you. So try and be a lot more clever, remember what your strengths are. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to speak for James, but, you know, I'm sure we're both excited that we are in a final again. You know, the thing about our rivalry is, I mentioned yesterday in the post-match stuff, is we've not played many early rounds. You know, we've played a lot of finals, World Championship finals, British Open, US Open, Commonwealth Games, and so on. So we always tend to play on the big stage, and I think I read that this is our 57th meeting, which is an outrageous number, really, when you think about it. You know, it sort of, you know, over 12 years, about 5 times a year, which is, you know, a heck of a lot. It's always been tough. In recent years, I've come out on the best side of those, but I think the key to that is that I've never taken each match for granted, just because I have had a good run. You know, I've always started each match from scratch, and he's playing some of the best squash he's played in 3 or 4 years now as well. So I really have to even up it again tonight, take what's been successful, but then start again tonight, because he's in great form, and it's great to see for England squash that we've still got a bit of life in us, because let's face it, the next generation, we've seen this week, a few of them are doing okay, but they're not ready to take over at the very top just yet. So if we can hang on a bit longer, then that would be good for England squash too. It's
been a rivalry that people have enjoyed, I think, outside of our little bubble of the professional players, because we're both English and Yorkshiremen, and there's sort of little bits of antagonism that have gone on in the years, over the years, and it's really great that, I think, testimony to him and to both of us, that we've had that the ability mentally to stay with it, to forget the age or whatever it is, and just say, right, you know, keep going. And now we're here playing another major final, and I think we played again. I think we played at the Nationals in February, and you know, you're getting to the point where you want to enjoy it and really just engage yourself in that atmosphere, because it's a tremendous thing to be able to play a big rivalry against a big opponent on a big stage. So you're not getting to finals, maybe myself and him not quite as often as we maybe were. So it's, like you say, really exciting to be facing that again tonight. And part of you just wants to soak that up, as well as thinking about winning it and everything. Yeah, I think, you know, Monday night, it does remind, you know, the same building. It does sort of go back to 2009, I think it was, which was sort of when our rivalry came to a head in this very building, British Open final. Beat James, I think 12-10 in the 5th in 2 hours, and he didn't talk to me for about a year after that. You know, in my eyes, too much was made of it. I think if James had won that match, then he wouldn't have said anything, and he has his opinion, I have mine. We were never close, but we sort of went our own ways after that day, really, and it's given an edge to our rivalry, and that's been good for the sport. There's absolutely no animosity there, but we're 2 different people. We like different things in life, and that's absolutely fine. It's been a big rival, so very tough to be close to someone at that same time. Well, no, because he always seems to play like ridiculously well against me, which is a great sort of, I don't know, I'm pleased that he does, because it means that he probably is taking me quite seriously. But he does play, you know, I feel like he plays well anyway. I mean, he might say it differently, but he might also say that I play well, and I think I have played really well against him. I've definitely had more losses recently, a lot more losses than wins, quite emphatically. But I've certainly not played badly in a lot of those matches, so I've just got to keep concentrating on that and keep thinking about playing as well as I can, and not worrying about points and winning games too much. If I can play well, then I've got to put myself up there with a chance. But yeah, yes and no. It's good that we can both produce great quality squash, but I don't particularly like being on the end of it when he's playing so well. But that's what we're there to be doing. To end the year with a victory would be sweet, especially after, I feel like, the last 18 months, a lot of injury problems,
doubts over where I am in my career, I think to finish the year with a win, it doesn't matter who it's against. You know, to lift that trophy would be immense.
I mean, it's a big title. You want to win the title. I think there's slightly more emphasis, personally, if I'm being honest, on the performance and the actual occasion as well for me now. As you were saying, with that perspective, of course I want to win. That's what you work hard and you want to. It's a greatly satisfying thing to come off a squash court having won, having worked hard in the weeks and months coming into it, and then having won the match it's a fantastic feeling. But yeah, a lot of it is about I want the match to be good, and I want the occasion to work as well, and I want to enjoy it with Malcolm, who'll be with me. It was my coach and who has worked so hard for me, and all these things as well. That sort of matters to me, I think, a lot, as well as just the result. And it's not all out result anymore, as important as it is, and to win tonight would be a great thing.